Congressional Democrats responding to the deal that ended the government shutdown. Well, joining me now, Congressman John Garamendi, Democrat from California. As always, sir, thank you for joining us. I want to look at your voting record, sir, because I know you were one of 45 Democrats voting to end the shutdown, but you had 144 of your colleagues who voted against. Sure. Why were you disagreeing with the majority on this?
Time to move on. Time to move on. We're going to fight this battle once again. By February the 8th, we're going to go back and rejoin it. The shutdown is not good for America, and it was time to get beyond that and to get back to some underlying issues. Fact of the matter is, why do we have CRs to begin with? The reason we have CRs is that there's no money. The tax scam cut that the Republicans pushed forward ripped $150 billion out of the Treasury this year. And so the Republicans can't figure out how to fund the government, so we do CRs. Obviously, the Dreamer issue is very much a part of the ongoing debate, and we've actually seen some progress made here. The president has most recently said that he wants 1.8 million of those Dreamers on a path to citizenship. That's good.
That's good, but it comes at quite a price. What is it about now? Do you think February 8th some holds a magic number? You think it'll get done by then?
Let's be optimistic. Although the discussion you just had prior to my coming on would indicate that we have a government in chaos. It's in chaos. So let's be hopeful. There has been progress in the negotiations. There's no doubt about it. My colleagues are quite correct that the rest of the proposal that the White House has put out is just a non-starter. But nonetheless, we have made progress with regard to the Dreamers and the DACA issue. Can we drive that forward and get it done in the next, 12 days? I'm hopeful.
Well, I love optimism, but I'm going to ask, and I don't want to rain on your parade here, but do you find yourselves between a rock and a hard place, you and your Democratic colleagues, because if you do not get a deal on DACA rather, you lose with your base. If you do get a deal on DACA, you give a win to the president. I mean, has the president managed to turn this whole DACA issue into a lose-lose proposition for Democrats?
Well, I don't think we keep score on a day-by-day basis here. We're going to have to take a look at this last year. The president's going to do a State of the Union address coming up in just a couple of days. What is the State of the Union? There is massive chaos in the U.S. government. There's no doubt about that. And there's a government under the Trump administration that's trying to deny climate change, trying to roll back environmental protections, drill for oil off virtually every mile of the coast of the United States, except in Florida, where he has his own resort, Mar-a-Lago. And we have our allies absolutely wondering, what in the world is going on in America? We've got a nuclear standoff with North Korea. The Trump administration in 1 year has managed to turn the entire world upside down. And it is a very serious problem, not only domestically. We take a look at that tax bill. What did it do? Well, Trump said very clearly, when he met all of his plutocratic guests for a Christmas party at Mar-a-Lago, his words out of his own mouth were, "I've made you a whole lot richer." Yes, he's managed to increase income inequality, give American corporations hundreds of billions of dollars of tax, and they give what? They give an annual bonus, not an annual, they give a one-time bonus. They don't bother to raise their wages except in those states that have minimum wage law increases. You go, this is just terrible public policy, and it's all Donald Trump's doing.
You mentioned the State of the Union. I understand, sir, that you plan to wear black there to the State of the Union on Tuesday. This in solidarity with women who are protesting sexual harassment, sexual misconduct as well. But what tangible steps are Democrats taking in Congress to try to address the internal complaints of harassment and hush money payouts?
Well, my colleague Jackie Spear from California and many women, including men, myself included, will be supporting legislation that will change the way in which Congress deals with sexual harassment and harassment generally beyond sexual harassment, workplace harassment. That new policy is very, very tough, and it eliminates the use of government money to settle a case. All the members of Congress will be responsible themselves for whatever there may be. And so it's a whole new process that will be put in place, at least for the House of Representatives, and I think it's going to become the standard for Congress and quite possibly for other workplaces around the nation.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you about the president having dismissed as fake news, as you heard there from Davos yesterday, the reports that last June he ordered the firing of Special Counsel Bob Mueller. But NBC News, others, New York Times, have confirmed it as well. Can Democrats realistically get protection for Mueller via legislation as part of the ongoing budget negotiations?
I don't think so. Not in the budget negotiations. They're going to be tough enough without going into that issue. But what we must do as Democrats and as Republicans, there are Republicans, you heard Charlie Dent as one, who have integrity, who are very concerned about what's going on. We need to push back. We need to push back on shows like this. We need to push back in our own communities, back in our district, and make it very clear that the rule of law is fundamental to the long-term well-being of this nation, as it has been in the past. And none of us, members of Congress, myself and senators, and the president, and the other advisors in the White House are above the law. We are answerable to the law. A special counsel, Mr. Mueller, is investigating. Let it go where it's going to go. Let him have whatever he needs in time and resources, and we will see what the outcome is. The president cannot just say fake news with everything that he doesn't like, and neither can his supporters. The fact of the matter is there's an investigation underway. It has to take its natural course. And if that course leads to an impeachment, so be it.
All right, Congressman John Garamendi from California, thank you so much, sir. And on the heels of that conversation, what to expect if President Trump does indeed speak to Robert Mueller? How close could the president fall into what some are calling the perjury trap? We've got some